Good morning, everyone. So, earlier this morning, after I got off work, I was able to do a beer review. That beer review was the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, based off of Game of Thrones. I mispronounced that name on the queen that it was supposed to be, but it is okay. Things will be fine. In that beer review at the end, I read some scripture, talked about some subjects, reflected on the ideas that were spinning around my head at the current moment, and they're currently still spinning around my head. So I was sitting there reflecting on the idea of pro choice versus pro life. And one of the arguments actually is very, very faulty, just in its name itself. Pro life. Pro life is simple. It says we want the kids to actually survive. We want them to live. We want the babies to be born. There's a lot of arguments against that. Maybe science can dictate whether or not that kid is going to have any type of issues medically, and maybe that would be a consideration in order to either end that child's life, adjust the child in the womb, or do other things that just don't make a lot of sense. And granted, I used to be one of the pro-choice people that would accept abortion on the stance of, one, if it was rape, two, if it would mean the life of the mother and the life of the infant would be lost during the birth. But I changed that based off of my wife because I love her, and she basically explained to me how she felt of that, and I saw her way. So essentially, that's how it goes. But the thoughts on that are simply, pro-life is simple. It says we want life, but pro-choice doesn't make sense. Pro-choice, I'm not for suppressing, oppressing, whatever type of pressing you want to do of people, but I'm not for that. A lot of people think that if you say that you're pro-life, you're for saying that you can control a woman's body, but it's not really controlling a woman's body if you're just saying that the argument makes no sense. Because pro-choice implies that there's choices. And within those choices, that means that you actually have more than one. But you never hear anybody in the pro-choice argument saying that they were shunned, oppressed because of choosing life. You never hear them saying, "Oh, I got my rights taken away from me because I chose life, and I'm pro-choice to choose life." The only choice in pro-choice is in the argument pro-choice versus pro-life is simply that a woman wants to be able to end the life or end the production of a zygote, a whatever you want to call it, inside the woman's womb. It's okay though. So it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. So in order to have choices, pro-choice, you have to have more than one choice, and that was just blows it out of the water. There's only one, and a person today and a person yesterday, this argument keeps coming up in my life because I guess it's something I have to think about, said that when I said I'm pro-life and I'm not for abortion, he said, and the other person said that simply it doesn't sound that appealing or that respectful if you're using abortion instead of pro-choice. And they're right. Pro-choice sounds a lot nicer than, hey, let me kill this thing inside me. So, morning thoughts are simple. Just doesn't make sense. Other thoughts that I've been having is, I have to make a choice whether or not this career is going in the right direction. Maybe go backwards a little bit. And to go backwards, it would mean that a lot of risk. And I don't know, honestly, what the wisest decision would be. So, you have one career on one end where I enjoyed because I'm a people person and they allow me to be around people. You have another career on the other end that has the potential to make a lot of money. Potential, though. Because if the other end fails, the more lucrative end fails, it could, because simple regulation could actually dictate whether or not that service that I'm currently in now should or should not exist. And by that regulation, that could actually eliminate a lot of the customers that business has. The other business, though, the one going backwards, is more towards a market where it would always have a need, always be able to evolve itself in order to make itself survive. To the point where that other company that I used to work for expands several stores every year. And these stores rarely go out of business. So, this other place is juggling funds. It's how it goes. So, for morning thoughts, that's what I have to think about. I will talk to you guys later.